Hey guys, what is going on? Back once again. So, man, I gotta break this news story because it has been going on. It's been going on. It's been going around the whole internet circuit. So, right wing media personality and political activist goes by the name of Charlie Kirk has been shot and considered confirmed dead and passed away by our current president of the United States, Donald Trump. So, Charlie Kirk has passed away at the age of 31. And what happened was, and what we know about Charlie Kirk, he's a conservative and political activist, co founder of the Turning Point USA, has died after being shot today at an event in Utah Valley University. Authorities say in Utah there was an active investigation. A person who has been taken into custody for interrogation was released this evening, FBI Director Kash Patel said, and there has been an outpouring condemnation of both sides from both sides of the aisle to Kirk's death. President Donald Trump tonight described his death as a dark day for America and previewed a broader plan to crack down on political violence. As Trump, as Trump made the Republican Party, Kirk embodied the GOP's newfound populist conservatism in the social media age. Trump has credited Kirk with galvanizing and mobilizing the youth to vote for him. This hurts because it was so senseless, Oklahoma Senator Mark Wayne Mullins says. Speaker Johnson says many lawmakers want increased security following Kirk's death. And House Speaker Mike Johnson told CNN tonight that there has been a deluge of lawmakers who are calling for heightened security in the wake of Charlie Kirk's killing, and I think many of them are nervous. Of course, Johnson told CNN's Caitlin Collins are referring to his colleagues in Congress. They're public figures. They're exposed all the time, everywhere, and we have great security measures for members of Congress, but there is a desire on many people's parts to have more. And Johnson added on the source that said he was looking into that request, saying, we have to take serious measures for serious times. The speaker also echoed the comments some of his colleagues made today, stressing the impact of words and civility. Johnson later added, we needed to be thinking thoughtfully of our language and what we're saying and how we treat one another. Johnson said that there could be a big moment. I feel like something has changed. First Lady Melania Trump calls for compassionate awareness. Javen, hey, how's it going? First Lady Melania Trump calls for compassionate awareness in aftermath of Charlie Kirk's death. The First Lady Melania Trump called for compassionate awareness after the killing of Charlie Kirk, mourning on behalf of the conservative activist's two small children. Charlie's children will be raised with stories instead of memories, photographs instead of laughter, and silence where the father's voice should be echoed. The First Lady said in a statement posted to social media, marketing her first reaction to the shooting. She continued, Charlie Kirk's life should be served as a symbolic reminder of compassionate awareness, elevates family, love, and country. Kirk was a trusted ally of the president who also became a close friend of the Trump family. Taylor Romine said that it's clearly not the Utah way. Senator John Curtis says about the Charlie Kirk shooting. The shooting that killed conservative activist Charlie Kirk is clearly not the Utah way. And Utah Senator John Curtis says while speaking with CNN's Caitlin Collins, and there is an area where the shooting occurred. It's often jokingly referred to as Happy Valley. He said adding to you can walk on the streets any time of the day and to be comfortable. And that makes this even more disturbing for those of us who live there. He said nothing has a home and a couple of miles from a college campus. Here is why authorities may be having a hard time finding Kirk's killer, according to his chief CNN analyst. A manhunt is still underway as law enforcement tries to find the person who fired the shot and killed conservative Charlie Kirk today. And according to CNN chief law enforcement intelligence analyst John Miller, the shooter's planning skill and execution may be complicating the search. He told CNN's Caitlin Collins that snipers have been studied closely by the government, and they typically are people who are methodical and patient, self-reliant, the kind of person who would have to plan to get in silently, try to be invisible, take this shot, accomplish the mission, and take the gun with them and leave the little evidence behind, which is why I think they're having a very difficult time getting started on this. Officials said earlier today that they believe the shooter fired one shot at one person, and that was a targeted incident. The single fire shots shows that the person is new to the shooting, Miller said, which is ultimately that could help officials get to the bottom of the investigation. This is someone who knew exactly what they were doing, and this is probably known to others. This may be working to the advantage of law enforcement, Miller said, and as someone who has long history in the shooting, this wasn't an amateur. And CNN spoke to eyewitness who described the scene of the shooting on a Utah campus. Kirk, 31, who was killed after shot at an event in Utah Valley. CNN spoke to eyewitness who described the scene. I'm not going to show you guys the video, but just know, just to go on CNN.com and just go to live and just really find it out. But anyways, because I don't want to get copyright strike. But anyway, Utah Valley is shocked and saddened by Kirk's death, as its president says. And Utah Valley University President Astrid Tuminen says the campus community is shocked and saddened by the death of Charlie Kirk, who has been speaking at an event on campus when he was shot. And in behalf of the Utah Valley University, we are shocked and saddened by the tragic passing of Charlie Kirk. We express our sincere condolences to the Kirk family, Tuminen said in a statement Wednesday night. We grieve with our students, facility, and staff who bore witness to this unspeakable tragedy. And President Donald Trump, getting into his statements, he said, "This is a dark moment for America," Trump says as he expresses the grief over Kirk's death. President Donald Trump expressed his grief and anger about the killing of Charlie Kirk in a direct-to-camera video from the Oval Office. I am filled with grief and anger in the heinous assassination of Charlie Kirk on a college campus in Utah. Charlie inspired millions, and tonight, all who knew him and loved him are united in shock and horror, the president said in a 4-minute video released this evening, underscoring his close ties with Kirk, who became a close political ally and personal friend of the Trump family. This is a dark moment for America, the president added, describing Kirk's efforts to travel the country and engage in a good faith debate. Kirk, the president said, has become a martyr and a truth and freedom, and going on to express prayers for the Kirk family. The president connected Kirk's death to his own shooting in Butler, Pennsylvania, and other high-profile instances of violence, including the shooting of a United Healthcare executive in New York in December, and the 2017 shooting of House Majority Leader Steve Scalise as he rallied against the radical left political violence. He suggested that Americans and the media need to confront the fact that violence and murder are the tragic consequence of demonizing those whom you disagree. Trump vowed further action, previewing a broader plan to crack down on political violence. And my administration will find each and every one of those who contributed to this atrocity and to other political violence, including the organizations that is founded and supported, and as well as those who go after our judges, law enforcement officials, and everyone else who brings order to our country, he said. And here he's talking about the Utah Valley University, where Kirk was shot at today, and It's located in Orem, and of course, go on the school website. Talks about the enrollment of the students and the establishment of the university as well. All right, so that's just a lot of opinions and statements and expressing grief and mourn and pain and anger from a lot of CNN, from a lot of panelists, from a lot of analysts, and from a lot of people, including the president himself, about Charlie Kirk, and you know expressing their condolences to the Kirk family and giving heartfelt statements. So my thoughts about this matter is, number one, I, again, being not of a fan, politically speaking, of Charlie Kirk myself, but and we're on different, and he was still living, we were definitely on opposite ends of the spectrum when it comes to certain things, when it comes to his stances on women's rights, his stances on certain things involving the left. We pretty much are indifferent on, but at the same time, when you have so much of a target that's on your back, and because of you being a media personality, and I forgot to mention, if I didn't mention this already, the guy that kind of co-funded and head-funded the organization Turning Point USA. Like, when you have so much going on business-wise, and when you say certain things politically that drive people on a wedge, it kind of messes with your aura. And for me, this is just uncalled for, man. This is absolutely uncalled for. This is very, very sad and unfortunate. And I just can't believe that these people in America will stoop so low to let somebody else's political opinion, or let somebody else's like morally encompass and feelings get in the way. You know what I mean? Just get in the way. And at the same time, it's me not being nowhere near any of a fan of this guy whatsoever, because we both on different sides of the spectrum. That doesn't matter. But this should not come to any violence in any capacity. This is just completely immoral. This is completely just disgusting and disturbing. And at the end of the day, it just goes to show you that we're pretty much in the dark days of America at this point. When we already been in the dark days of America, and at the end of the day, when you gotta attack somebody, when you gotta go after somebody, and I don't even know if it's just affiliated with their political opinion, but just as affiliated with just how they conduct themselves, it's just disgusting, man. It's absolutely disgusting, and it's absolutely disturbing, and it kind of just goes to show you that America is built. It's always been built on violence. And it's always built on people who commit heinous acts that have no morals, that have no ethics, no values, nothing. They just all about themselves. And it's just, in my opinion, they don't seek themselves to really be encompassed to actually. They don't look themselves in the mirror. Is my point. They really don't look themselves in the mirror whatsoever to really look at them and like look at themselves and feel like what they're doing, what they're committing. You're pretty much asking for a death, which is at the end of the day, you're asking for at the end of the day in light of the subject. So, and of course the police and the police on campus and the FBI investigators, they're gonna look into this. They're gonna watch cameras. They're gonna look around. They're gonna definitely investigate and look into it. But yeah, man, this is just absolutely just disgusting, in my opinion. And it just goes to show you that, people are absolutely mentally ill and mentally challenged, and just and dubious and credulous, and these people need to be stopped. These mass shootings and killings, one, because you don't indulge and inflige on extra security. You don't have actual the right amount of protection on these campuses and universities, as far as building up and asking for extra more security, you know, to protect individuals who are vital and definitely are important. Important figures, important political figures. You gotta have protection at the most cost. You just can't have people just go on these podiums or go to these platforms without having some form of protection or feel like they're safe. Because if they don't feel like they're safe, then they don't feel like they can conduct themselves in any ways, and you have these, these shootings from afar, from these just absolute knuckleheads. You just can't win with it. So yeah, man, that's just my thoughts right now from what I've seen, from what I've gathered. Yeah, I'm very indifferent on Charlie Kirk, but there's no way that an incident like this should happen without some form. Oh, and then they're definitely gonna find the shooter. They're gonna definitely have some form of repercussions for him. But man, like this is just disgusting and disturbing, man, in my opinion. So, um, and it just goes to show you that no matter where your political stances and views are, sometimes when you say and certain times certain people conduct in ways and conduct themselves and not in a matter in an ill manner and ill manner behavior, yeah, certain times they can come around on you. But yeah, this is just disgusting, man. But anyways, tell me what you guys thoughts is down in the comment section below. I'm gonna get on out of here, and thank you all for watching. Thank you all for subscribing, and thank you all for liking and sharing and subscribing. I'm gonna get on out of here and talk to you guys in the next video, which I will be coming out pretty soon, or actually be coming out in the next 5 or 10 or so minutes. But I'm gonna get on out of here, guys. Thank you for watching and listening to me speak.